A special shout out to SCAN's event planning committee that made today possible. So each of you have played a unique role to support SCAN's launch, so let's please give them all a round of applause. We are so glad that you're here with us today. And we're here today with great momentum in LA. And like Chris mentioned, we're excited to expand and support partnerships throughout all the 10 counties that we're aiming to serve throughout Southern California. Many of us have seen companies from across many industries use the model of apprenticeship to find and develop skilled talent for their workforce needs. From Accenture and IBM developing software engineers in IT, to CVS Health developing pharmacy technicians in healthcare, to Aon developing multiple pathways in business and marketing roles, to Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin developing engineers in aerospace. We have example after example right here in SCAN, and many more if I had time to list all of them. In all these programs, you see companies finding and developing the talent they need, as well as individuals from different backgrounds finding opportunities to build meaningful careers and transform their lives. It really is a win for everyone involved. So if you're here and you're interested in a dependable and skilled talent pipeline for your company, we want to make this as easy as possible for you by meeting with you to understand your unique needs and by connecting you to training partners and experts who can help. We want to make it simple to see how the model of apprenticeship can meet your talent needs, and we want to show you exactly how you can get started. And if you're here from a college, training provider, support service organization, foundation, or any other type of partner, we want to connect you with other organizations within our network so you can expand the impact of your work as well. If you want to learn more or figure out how you can get started, please reach out to us by sending us an email at scan@sbwib.org. But lastly, I want to share what we can do together. Our main goal that we are pursuing as a network. By 2029, we're setting a goal of creating at least 3,000 new apprenticeship opportunities trained and hired through our network. That's 3,000 lives being changed, who might not have had access to opportunities, but will now be able to launch meaningful careers and enable them to put food on the table and pay for dance lessons and medical bills and soccer games and further education. And that's also 3,000 skilled workers who will now be equipped and ready to contribute meaningfully to the businesses that power our region's economy. I will close with this. If we're honest, we're here today because we are not satisfied with the status quo. Too many companies are struggling to find enough skilled workers to support their present and future workforce needs. And too many people from all walks of life are struggling to find pathways and opportunities into meaningful careers so they can put food on the table and live out the dreams they have for their lives. We're here to tackle these challenges head on by building the programs that will connect these two groups and allow for them to be each other's solution. It's an honor to be a part of this collective effort with you all, an effort that is bigger than any one of us, but that we all have a unique role to fulfill. So you have a place in this movement, and I'm excited to see what we might do together. Thank you. I also have the privilege of being today's event MC, so without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome Jim Limbaugh up to the stage. Jim serves as the president of West LA College, and we're happy he's here with us today. So let's give a warm welcome to Jim.
Well, good morning, everyone. You know, it's interesting. When you see a picture of somebody, it doesn't really look like the person that knows you. I don't know where that picture came from. So, I had and I'm here because we have a strong apprenticeship program, but more importantly, that we need some broader confidence. Now, there's an upside to the Southern California economy. Our region's employers are continually adapting to new technologies to remain competitive in the marketplace, and that's many of you all, which is why our region plays a crucial role in fueling the state's economy, which in turn drives the national economy. Now there's a downside. Many regional residents face challenges in acquiring the necessary credentials to compete for high-wage, high-tech jobs for various reasons. Despite having a promising workforce, there's still a gap between employers' needs and the ambitions of those seeking careers. So today we convene to recognize an important component of our workforce development initiative. That's apprenticeships. So appropriately during National Apprenticeship Week, we stand together to launch the Southern California Apprenticeship Network. And I'm honored to represent the Los Angeles Regional Consortium and our 19 community colleges in the county as part of this important initiative. Now question, how many of you knew there were 19 colleges in this district? Okay, you win a prize. There are actually 19 of them, 9 of them in the LA district. The LA district serves over 200,000 students. It's the largest community college system in the world. And then there are standalone wonderful colleges like El Camino, Santa Monica, that type of thing. But all together, it is a consortium where we band together our respective talents and expertise in order to support, in this case, apprenticeships and workforce needs. So, the best way I can explain what the colleges do is to talk about my college. Now, you have to understand. When you become a president, you have to do certain things, right? But you're also required to proselytize like heck about your institution. So goes the proselytization. Okay. West Los Angeles College, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's a school of about 10,000 students over in Culver City, is a registered U.S. Department of Labor and California Division of Apprenticeship sponsor of 6 occupations. Over the last 2 years, West has served over 250 registered apprenticeships in the occupations of dental assistant, early childhood educator, and aircraft mechanic. And by the way, we're opening a second bachelor's degree in avionics. It'll be the only one of its kind in the country. So just keep that in mind as you're thinking about the aircraft industry. Each of these apprenticeships earned a West LA College Certificate Achievement and is now getting paid journey worker wages in their profession. West is also the local education agency for over 15 registered apprenticeship sponsors through the state of California. West is the lead institution in a $12 million 5-year apprenticeship grant in partnership with the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. Our goal is to generate 5,000 apprenticeships nationally, and we're about 4,500, and 500 in the state of California, and we're moving towards that. And also, you all have heard about the green and blue economy. West is, I love saying this, West is the only school in the state with a degree in climate change studies. We're the only school with the California Center for Climate Change Education, and we'll be developing apprenticeships for the blue and green economy because a recent study came out that said the greatest percentage of the blue and green jobs in California are in LA County. So we're proud to do that. Additionally, the state of California is investing $57 million to the California Community College Chancellor's Office to establish and scale innovative apprenticeship programs. So together with our forward-thinking partners and companies, we stand ready to help you achieve your career goals, and we're committed to rolling up our sleeves with you and partnering with you. Thank you. When you're speaking, watch for the woman in the orange, and she'll tell you to stop. Okay.
Thank you, Jim. Up next, we have Doug Howell, California State Director from Region 6, the U.S. Department of Labor. Let's give a warm welcome for Doug.
Hey, how do I follow up Jim? That's some great information from the college. I'm going to talk to you today about what a new program that came out with the Department of Labor. It's we call it our Registered Apprenticeship Academy. And then there is a slideshow. Hopefully it comes on.
There you go.
Excellent. So I'm excited to talk to you today about what the Registered Apprenticeship Academy is. It came out in a soft launch in June of last year, and then we made the official launch just this week since it is National Apprenticeship Week. It's an opportunity on our website for the ability to go somewhere to find some more information about what a registered apprenticeship is, how to move it forward, and it gives you a lot of quality information on training modules for apprenticeships. So we launched it in June 22nd, 23. It was a long time coming. The OA leadership knew that the registered apprenticeship expanded and would be necessary for the organization to be more efficient, effective, and standardized to support our stakeholders' learning needs. We are thrilled that the idea became a reality. So we had some of the background about it, was the June launch. Our goal is to inform and educate our stakeholders and learn to modernize and existing the modules that are available to it. For the launch was June, and now it's National Apprenticeship Week. Our phase 1 is the access to resources and training materials for the Registered Apprenticeship Academy website, and then the phase 2 is to customize these materials and for the learning pathways for RA stakeholders and groups and organized for their learners. So there's 6 categories or catalogs. We have registered apprentices, we have registered apprenticeship sponsors, we have the Department of Labor funded investment partners, we have state apprenticeship agencies like the DAS here, we have federal partners, and then we have the Office of Apprenticeship. So we have a category just for our staff to go and look at and view for ourselves for more training purposes. There's 26 courses currently on there right now with over 47 resources for us to look at. Okay. So when you go to apprenticeship.gov, there is the RA Academy right at the very top there. It's circled there for you. That's the easy access point to get to it. Or you could also use the QR code. It's QR code that's on the screen here right now. And if you don't get a chance to snap it now, I did bring the code out on the front table over there. There's a copy of the code there. This is a direct link to it, so you get an opportunity to get a chance to take a look at it. Next slide. There you go. Hit it again one more time for me. There you go. So as you click on the plus sign there where the first line goes to, that's where you give it an opportunity and it opens up the next screen, and then as you click on the different individual green arrows, a video will pop up. The video is a tutorial on the required catalog and information for there. It gives you an opportunity to research and guide. Like this one is Chad Alshire. He's one of our national office staff. A great picture of him going up there. He gives you the guides on the regulations and guiding directions within the for the direction of the material that's inside there. Okay, let's give a few minutes of discussion or a quick. I just want to ask a couple questions. Has anybody been to the Academy website yet and taken a look at it yet? Here, excellent. See a few of you. And what are your opinions of it so far?
I took the slides that you sent me up front and then just kind of took a quick look at it. So I hadn't really explored too much just when I said it. But
do you think anybody would give honest criticism of a website in a public forum like this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to. Yeah, you need the feedback.
I think you do, but this puts them in a weird setting. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe you can walk up to him after he finishes. I'm going to take him off stage for an interview.
And also gives an opportunity,
I haven't
as
done
this
it yet. I was just
process grows, our academy is not just going to, there's going to be new information all the time. So please don't just look at it once and be like, oh, I looked at it once. It's going to change all the time. We're going to add more courses to it. We're adding new material to it. We're talking about possibly on a daily basis, depending on when material comes out and everything like that. So it's an opportunity for everybody to just take a look at it. It does, as someone who does not know anything about apprenticeship, gives them an opportunity to learn on that side of it, or someone who has an apprenticeship program already in operation, gives you the opportunity to learn from the best from other programs and other people out there, because we have some better quality programs that are giving their testimonies on what they did, why they did certain things for us. So, and I just wanted to end this with a quick note. Since this is National Apprenticeship Week, and everybody, as the Department of Labor, we look at numbers, we count events and everything like that. As of this morning, we had 180 events for Region 6, which is all the West Coast, so that's great that we beat last year's of 145 by 35 more events. So I appreciate the SCAN group for inviting me here today. We do have more events this week. I'll be attending all, but it's just a great honor to be here today and speaking with you. I will be in the back if anybody has any questions about DOL programs. Let me know if I can support or help in any way. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Deputy Chief at the California Division of Apprenticeship Standards. So let's give her a warm welcome as well.
Happy National Apprenticeship Week, everybody. It is a pleasure to be here. So I am representing the state of California and the Division of Apprenticeship Standards. And I always enjoy seeing the resources that DOL puts forth. So thank you, Doug, for that academy. I know it's going to be an incredibly helpful resource to all of us. We are all very busy trying to build apprenticeship programs, and it's hard to put together those really high quality materials. So I'm excited about what DOL is putting forth. So what I'm excited to share with you a little bit here today is how we're growing apprenticeships in California. And as you may be aware, we're investing a lot of resources into growing apprenticeships. So I want to share a few updates about some funding sources. So to start off with, I wanted to share a little bit of what our journey is in terms of growing apprenticeships. So if you go to the next slide, we put forth some pretty big budget proposals back in 21-22, and when we did that, we did some forecasting. And many of you may have heard of Governor Newsom's big, ambitious goal of serving 500,000 apprentices by 2029. And in California Apprenticeship, we kind of organize things into what we call CAC apprenticeships, which is the California Apprenticeship Council, which is like building trades programs and fire trades, and IACA programs. So IACA stands for the Interagency Advisory Committee on Apprenticeships, which is our shorthand for all apprenticeships outside of the building and fire trades. So healthcare, public sector, tech, probably what you all are doing here today. So we did some forecasting as to how many apprentices do we need to serve to reach that 500K goal. So our big goal here is to be serving around 200,000 IACA apprentices by 2029. So it was fun recently to go back to this and say, so how are we doing? Right? We're 2 years into this journey, into these really significant investments. How are we doing on that journey? And what I'm very happy to report is that we're crushing it. So well done, everybody. That is 100% the collective effort. Yes, yes. So just looking at the number of active IACA apprentices, in 2022, we grew it by 18%. Up until about a week ago when I put together this presentation, we had grown it by 15% this year, and obviously we're not done. And if you go to the next slide, it sort of zooms in on these numbers. So the light blue is what we originally forecasted, and the dark blue is what is our actuals. So we're outperforming our forecasts, which is amazing. And the lines on the top are, when we were making the case for these investments, the green line was what we said would be the status quo. Like if we just did nothing, if we made no new investments, this is how it would grow. And the yellow is what we projected, and the dark blue is our actuals. So it's awesome. Everyone in this room should feel really great about that. I know I feel really great about that, and it's pretty amazing to be able to go back to our governor's office, talk to our labor secretary about like, hey, we're doing it. We're building this movement, it's happening. And I know that that's because of the collective work of all of you. And I know that we're just embarking on this journey. And there's a lot of work ahead, so I'm excited about that work ahead. One of the key investments that we have made that I want to make sure that you all are aware of is the Apprenticeship Innovation Funding. So this is funding that DAS is putting forth. It's formula funding that is based on the number of apprentices that you are serving. So it's $3,500 per apprentice per year, prorated to the month, plus a $1,000 completion bonus to apprenticeship program sponsors, which could be an apprenticeship intermediary, it could be a community college, it could be a single employer. We're pretty flexible on the organization type, but whoever is the program sponsor can receive this funding, and we hope that this is part of that sustainable equation for being able to run your program. And then importantly, we also have the training funding, which is to help offset the cost of training, and this is benchmarked to related and supplemental instruction funding, for those of you who know what that is. But it's essentially, in the past year, it was $8.82 per hour. In this coming year, it's going to be $9.98 per training hour. So if you go to the next slide, where we are with AIF is that we are just literally this week finalizing the awards and payments going out, and so we are going to be making an announcement very soon. So keep your ear out and looking in your email for an announcement around the first year of AIF awards. And we're also opening up this week public comment. We want to hear from you all, whether you went for the funding or whether you decided not to go for the funding. We would love to hear your feedback on how that went, how we can improve the process, because our plan is to open up the next round in Q1 of 2024. So probably in like February, March, we will be opening up the next round of submissions for AIF, and that formula will be based on the apprentices that you served in 2023. So please keep an eye out for all of those things. I want to make sure those were on your radar. And if you go to the next slide, breaking news this week is that I'm excited to share with you all that we, like the overall structure for a new funding opportunity, which is called the California Opportunity Youth Grant. So our clever acronym here is the COYA grant. So the intent of this grant is to try to invite more opportunity youth into apprenticeship and to really demonstrate how, I love the happy nodding heads, yes, to demonstrate how impactful apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship can be for these opportunity youth. We know there are over 500,000 opportunity youth in the state of California, and we really see that apprenticeship can be a key mechanism to lift them up and give them economic opportunity. So we are going to be opening up this grant in January or February of 2024, and we are making $25 million available in this first round of the grant. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of the structure of that, because I want you all to be able to be starting to get organized to hopefully go for the grant. So just to ground you, this grant was enabled through a budget bill in 22-23 and then further funded in 23-24. And the initial legislation really put forth that they wanted to fund both new programs and existing programs, apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeships. But really, core objective is to get opportunity youth into apprenticeship opportunities. And the objective here is that the services delivered through the grant should be primarily through collaborative, mission-driven, community-based organizations who have experience serving opportunity youth. So we're really keeping these things at the center. And then finally, in the framing is also that this is for IACA programs. It's not intended to be for building trades programs. So with that in mind, the eligible applicants for this funding are going to be entities that have experience serving opportunity youth, at least 2 years of serving opportunity youth, and have demonstrated successes in placing those opportunity youth into employment. So there's a lot of different organizations here that can therefore be eligible. Certainly we have community-based organizations at the top of that list, nonprofits, workforce boards, different unions, different branches of our public education system. Importantly, for-profit entities are not eligible for this funding. If you go to the next slide. So here's the overall funding structure that we're putting forth. We're going to have a planning grant and an implementation grant. And there's going to be pre-apprenticeship grants up to $300K, and apprenticeship planning grants up to $500K. And the idea is that there's about a 1-year performance period on this. And we do aim to have subsequent rounds of this funding, so those who got planning grants could potentially get implementation grants. And the implementation grant is the pre-apprenticeship grant that will be, well, really both categories are range from $500K to $2 million, and the performance period would be 3 years on those. And we heard a lot of public comment about the payment structure and how hard it is for nonprofits to only do the reimbursement model. So our answer to that is what we're offering is that all grants will be paid 25% of the grant after the first quarter's approved report, and then it'll be reimbursement of expenses beyond that, with the final 25% not reimbursed because it was paid initially. So that's the payment structure, and just to touch very quickly, I know I'm close on time here, the planning grant, really the intent of the planning grant is to help get programs organized. So the objective with the pre-apprenticeship is to help those eligible organizations that have experience serving opportunity youth to create a program to identify a target registered apprenticeship occupation that they can develop a pre-apprenticeship for, and the apprenticeship planning grant. This is important. The planning grant here, we're offering to help with the support of a creation of a new program, or for a community-based organization or similar such organization to create a partnership with an existing registered apprenticeship program to source opportunity youth into the program, and also to offer supportive services for those opportunity youth going through the program. And so when we go to the implementation grants, you'll see that same sort of spirit reflected. So I'm going to touch very quickly on this because I know I'm going over my time. I see my orange sign. I feel like everyone here wants to know this though, so I'm going to take some liberties. So the implementation grant is for pre-apprenticeship. It has to be registered with DAS, therefore have a linkage to a registered apprenticeship program, not exceed 6 months, and not have paid OJT, that's on-the-job training. But there can be an educational stipend, and the funding structure reflects that. So it's going to be up to $12,000 per pre-apprentice, and our expectation is that half of that, so $6,000 per pre-apprentice, goes towards all of the costs of running the program, and half of it actually could go towards an educational stipend to the pre-apprentice, because we know that that's a key barrier for a lot of opportunity youth to do those training programs. They often can't afford not to work. So if we go, I'll wrap on this slide, which is that the apprenticeship implementation grants, again, you see that structure reflected where it's both for the creation of new programs and supporting effective new programs that are specifically serving opportunity youth, or to go towards community-based organizations or similar such organizations that are serving opportunity youth to recruit them into the program and offer supportive services. So I really wanted to call this out because I don't necessarily think that success on this is a whole bunch of new registered apprenticeship programs only for opportunity youth. I think success in this is just as much getting the organizations out there that already serve opportunity youth effectively to help them connect those opportunity youth into apprenticeship opportunities. So this one is $10,000 per apprentice, and the focus of the funding is really on supportive services. So I will wrap with that. Thank you so much.